Hello and welcome to 15 Minute Game. My name is Tony and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for more videos. Hello fellow citizens and welcome to the channel. Inside Star Citizen is back. Yay, content for the channel. I was starting to run out there. I was like, what am I going to do now? So anyway, it's back. So let's have a look, see what they're going to get up to this week. This week, the beginning bit, which I always find generally the most boring bit, is making the brand. So they start off by saying there are 250 brands within the universe. These can be anything from goods to service providers to weapons manufacturers, that sort of thing. They start off by saying, what's your favorite brand in the universe? When I think of brands, I usually think of ships, to be fair. I didn't really think outside of the fact that there's a lot more. Obviously, I knew there was weapon manufacturers, ships, but I didn't really think outside of that, so it was a bit interesting in that sense, just to go, oh yeah, there is loads and loads and loads of different brands. They start off with talking about like a brand helps you identify. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. You know if someone puts it in front of you, if it's a Kit Kat or something like that, you know that just from normal life, so it's no different inside the verse. So you know if you've got an Origin ship flying towards you, say the 325, you'll know that that's an Origin ship just by the way it looks. Same as the Argo series as well. And they show an abandoned ship concept from 2018 showing Argo. And again, haven't produced many ships, but just by looking at the ones they do, you should be able to go, oh yeah, it's an Argo coming towards me. So yeah, they talk a lot about that sort of thing. And, you know, Argo has a very industrial vibe. And you see that with the two smaller ships as well. Very industrial, very, they say elaborated, like things just seem to be a bit bigger because it needs to be a bit stronger and looks a bit different like that. So yeah, the first part is just talking about little bits and bobs like that. Next up, they chat a little bit about FPS, so sort of the weapon manufacturers within the game, and they've brought in this thing called a balance triangle. Now, a balance triangle is, you know, when you're in the ship and you see you can like put a bit more power towards shields, towards weapons, it's like 33, 33, and 33. It's kind of like that, but with weapons as well. So the 3 points of the triangle is power, speed, and range. And if you pick a gun that has more range, then power and speed will be reduced. Same as you have one with speed, then range and power might change. So, you know, if you move that triangle towards 1 point, the other two are going to suffer from that. So they're basically, this is because they want more consistency across the brand. A certain brand you may associate with power. So if you're sort of walking around and see that shotgun, for example, you'll be like, oh, I really want that because I want to get up close and personal. And I know how that manufacturer usually has a lot of power. They also talk about a manufacturer may try to decide, like play with other things and other methods of guns. Say one might then suddenly develop a sniper rifle. But also that sniper rifle won't be as quick as the assault rifles because that triangle's kind of moved in that point towards where it's going to go. They then move on to talk about the Ninetales as an example. So they want the universe to feel alive. So if you see Ninetales branding on ships or a base, you might go, actually, I don't want to go there because I don't like them or you're an enemy with them. But if you're friendly, you might actively seek out Ninetales areas. So just showing how it's not just them things that are branding, you also have these other things that are branding, i.e. these NPCs and other factions within the game. So a lot of covering there about brands. They didn't really cover too much else, but that was the kind of main gist of it.
With more than 250 corporations currently spanning everything from vehicle components to financial services to food and drink and more, you can learn all about the brands being used to inform nearly everything in Star Citizen and Squadron 42 by checking out the portfolio articles in both our monthly Jump Point digital magazine for subscribers, as well as the weekly lore posts found on the robertspaceindustries.com website, both of which have archives going back to 2012. But up next, let's look ahead at what's going on in development now in this week's Sprint Report.
Thank you, Jared, for that. It's nice to see you again. So, looking ahead and moving on to everything else. First up, back to Brandon. I was like, no, why we're back there? But anyway, so we have 4 new brands in the verse. We have Spearfish, which is a maker of EMP weapons. We have Rook Heavy Metal, which is a direct supplier of metal to the Navy. Galavan Publishing, which is a Terran-based publisher. And Navy Surplus, which will supply used Navy wear. Now, that one interests me. I was a bit like, That'd be really cool. I think if you get the uniforms and stuff like that, which the Navy use, I would like that. I didn't know what it moved into after that, because it just says Navy surplus. Will you be able to get used weapons and stuff? It'll be interesting to see. Next up is building blocks, so it continues to be improved, and it shows scrollable menus, etc. It can be used onto any screen. So these are the building blocks behind things like elevator panels and ship displays, and they've been working on that and making it more user-friendly for them, I think, is by the way I picked it up. He also said don't look too deep into what's on the screen because none of it really matters. It's just a load of random words. So don't look into that. Or is that a double bluff? So next up is transitions and drop. Why can't I speak today? Drop and drag infantry. This is scheduled to come online by the end of the year. And also, now that there's prototypes out there, they've started thinking of other things they could use that for. And for those who don't know what this means, is basically you can move things around your infantry with drag and drop systems, and things will move. Kind of like Tetris, you know, when you play Tetris and you move things in. If you ever played Escape from Tarkov, that kind of thing. Environment, they talk about cloud tech. So this is the cloud tech from Squadron 42. It's going to come into the persistent universe. This will offer new gameplay opportunities. They don't really talk too much about what they are. I was trying to think what you could do with clouds in space, maybe hiding them, or there could be new missions to find things in them where it just gives you a rough area because you won't be able to see. So yeah, there could be some interesting things, and they look amazing as always with Star Citizen. Work is continuing on the cargo decks, so we can't have a try of these yet. You can see they've moved on a little bit from that initial stage, so they've kind of moved on from what we saw last time. They're starting to look really good. There's lots of NPCs in there, standing on chairs, no doubt. I'm sure they'll find something else like stand on cargo to do. But no, they're looking really good. And finally, and very excitingly, the Conny is getting updates. So this is one of the original ships, and they showed off a new cargo bay for the tourists. So it's a lot bigger. I think that might hold a lot of cargo. And that, to me, could make that ship buyable, because it wasn't before. Now I'm kind of like, interesting. Also, very exciting, is a very early prototype to land the Parasite craft. You know, the craft at the back, the Archimedes, which you can't fly. They've started working on how that's going to work and auto take off landing. Imagine how awesome that will be. So much fun. I never flew mine. I flew mine on the latest patch update. Well, not mine because it was free, but I never really flew the one that came with the Conny, even just around in like Star, anywhere really. So never mind. Anyway, that was kind of it for Inside Star Citizen. Welcome back. I'm glad to have you back, and I can't wait to see what's coming up. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you all later. Goodbye.